live. Well, before we do that, let me just fix my thingy over here. 1 second, I just want to make it. I want to get the color scheme to match. Yes. 1 second, 1 second. There we go. Just want to make this nice little. All right, there we go. Get that going on right there. All right, let's get this going on. Get this color scheme looking right. All right, get that little hidden thing. All right, there we go. Get this set up right here. All right, get this all set up over here. Get the upper limit. Make sure that's all nice. There we go. Middle limit is going to be that. A little bit more that way. Then lower limit's going to be this. A little bit more this way. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Now that looks schmexy. All right. All right. What's up? What up? What up, ladies and gentlemen? Let me just make sure we are live everywhere on the YIBO tubes. Are we live on the YIBO tubes? Let's make sure we are live. Let's make sure we are live. What's up? What up? What up, ladies and gentlemen? Let me just. All right. Yep. Audio's working. Yes, good. We are live. All right. There we go. Good morning, Legal. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Legal. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Good morning. Yeesh. All right. Let's make sure we're all set over here. All right. Let's make sure we are live on the X. Are we live on the X? We should be. Let me double checks. Double checks that we are live on the X. Hold on. All right. There we go. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. That's good on the X. Let's make sure we are live on the Twitch. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we're live on the Twitch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. All righty. All right, let me just get all the announcements out and ready to go, and then we should be all set. There we go. Right there. There you go. All right, let me get everything over here. Bop, right there. Boom. All set there. All right. Let's make sure we got everything over here. All right, there we go. Got that set up there. All right, there we go. Get this all set up over here. Boom, right there. Thank you, DBL Moms, for the water. Yes. All right, let's make sure we're all good. Is everything? Make sure we share it on the YIBO tubes. Yes, sir. All right. The X. Let's share it on the X. All right. Okay. Get this over here. Beautiful. All right. We're all set then. All right. Let's get this intro started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go into the stock market and she'll find them ABCDs. She does, of course, have some wonderful calls in the stock market. She also loves to steal my low main. And to top it off, she did call some wonderful stonks like RUBI, TOVX, and ENVB. We call her DBL Moms. Hey! All right. And that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So, be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, we did call quite a few wonderful stonks this morning. For example, we called ENVB prior to its run-up 65%. 65% right there. ENVB ran up a nice 65%. Boom, right there. All right. We got RUBI, which ran up a nice 59%. Nice little 59% right there. 1 second. Let me sure this works over here. Give me a second. Yes. Okay. Yes. We called Ruby, and it ran up a nice 59% right there. All right, we also called TOVX prior to its run up 56%. All right, we also called DTCK. Hey, where's my glasses? Give me those. Thief! Stealing! DBL Mom says stealing. Well, there we go. That's what I like to see. Yes. All right. We called DTCK. DTCK ran up a nice 55%. We called it on the private Discord prior to the run. And then, of course, YIBO hold on, YIBO, which ran up a nice 68%, 68% right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, yeah, be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel at Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money. Be sure to check us out on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our Twitch at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our TikTok, Tiki aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Now, let's take a look over here. Real Deal. Good morning. Hope you're doing good, Real Deal. Hope you're doing good. Just getting myself a little bit of a drink before we begin. Give me 1 second. Let me just get some water in me. I'll be right back. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. All right, so let's get started. Right away. Let's get started. All right, so. All right, hold on 1 second. Actually, let me get this over. Yeah, there we go. Scoot it over there for a second. 1 sec. All right, there we go. Now, let's take a look over here. At the first couple of stunks. Let's take a look at IPST. IPST had a bit of choppiness. Not very schmexy as of now. Not very schmexy. Very choppy over here. Very choppy over here. And actually pretty much just over here. Has a bit of a movement upward over here. Had a bit of a price spike going on here on IPST. But IPST is a stock that has 9 million float, 380,000 volume. So as of now, moving up, it moved up on some low volume there. So IPST moved up on low volume. So we got that going on right there. IPST. Bobo Beef says, howdy, Bobo. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing wonderful. Let's take a look at the Ruby. Let's take a look over here. RUBI. Let's take a look. All right. So we got right here a little bit of a panic going on right here. Right. And then it curled its way on up right over here prior to a little bit of a descending wedge right over here. Right. And then curled up once again right over there. Actually, I didn't go so far as to say. Afterwards, it made a bit of a pennant right over here off this descending wedge. So that's what they got going on right there. That is what they got going on. RUBI is up 56% as of now. Had a high of 59%. Needs to break above the pennant for it to be so much maxi to me. And needs to hold above the VWAPA. So RUBI needs to break the pennant. And hold and stay above the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to me. It is not overbought or oversold in the RSI as of now. RUBI has an unknown float, but the volume is 33 million. So that is a pretty good volume to have. Hopefully it is good in terms of float. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. Let's take a look and see if there's any news for this stock. Is there any news for this stock? There was news that came out yesterday that they filed the form schedule 13G. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. So yeah, they've got all that good stuff right there. All right, let's take a look and see what else we got. What else we got over here? Let me add them. Yes, let me add them over here. All right. So TOVX. Let's see about. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at NP. That one just popped up. No. Not looking too schmexy to mya. Not a lot of volume here. And definitely not a lot of volume here or here. Not a lot of volume. So NP, as of now, needs volume for it to be schmexy to mya. But even then, it's going to need a lot of volume. NP needs volume to remain schmexy to mya. But man, right now, not looking too schmexy. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 200. 200, ladies and gentlemen. 200, 200, 200, 200. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. What else we got? TRNR, TRNR, TRNR. Let's see over here. Had a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D right here, and then had a bit of a descending wedge right off that. So it's got that going on right there. It needs to break above the descending wedge. It needs to stay above the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens right now. So that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. TRNR needs to break the descending wedge over here for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right, and here's our boy right here. Here's our hero right over here. Yes, sir. All right. Our boy Stewie. Stewie. All right, look at him. He's sliding down. He's sliding down. He's sliding down that little thingamabobber right there. Oh, one arm's shorter than the other. We can't have that. Hold on. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. No. All right, we need to fix his arm. We can't just have bro walking around with like a bad arm here. Okay, there we go. There we go. There he is trying to like walk back up the descending wedge over here as he's sliding down, trying to fight his way on upward. Yes, but Stewie must break the TRNR must break the descending wedge so Stewie doesn't slide off and fall into the abyss. So, that's it's just his life on the line. It's just his life on the line. You know what I mean? Bobby says, would you mind providing some entertaining information on TRNR, please? Oh, I just sent that message right when you started the eval. Yeah, of course. Of course. We're keeping an eye on it right now. RUBI is up 70%, by the way. 70%. All right, so we're going to take a look at that. So TRNR needs to break the descending wedge right here. For it to be somewhat schmexy to mya, has to break the descending wedge. Has to break above the descending wedge. All right, for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. Otherwise, it could potentially fall below it. So it has to break the descending wedge right there. All right, it was a little bit overbought on the RSI. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 5.3 million. Volume is 51 million approximately. So we got that going on right there. Let's make sure that there's news. Is there news? Interactive Strength acquires subscription-rich Igrata in growth push. So that's good news. That is good news that it's an acquisition play right there. It acquired another company. Right there. So that's what they got going on. That is what they got going on right there. TRNR right there needs to break above the descending wedge right there. Has good news. It just needs to break that descending wedge for it to be so much maxi to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see what else we got. Ruby RUBI moving on up, curling off the pennant right now. Curling off the pennant up 71%. RUBI broke above the pennant, curled above the pennant, shot up. Boom, baby. There we go. Up 72%. 72% for Ruby. Up 72%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Hold on. One second. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Give me a sec there. All right. Hold on. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah. All right. There we go. All right. So, as of now, RUBI forming a bit of a double top right here, forming a bit of a double top right there. That's what's got going on. Needs to break that $3.85 mark for it to continue to climb up and be schmexy to mya. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. Looks like it's trying to climb above it. Looks like it's hitting 73%. Looks like it's climbing slowly but surely. It's climbing back up 74%. All right. And it's slowly just climbing its way on up right now. Ruby slowly climbing up. Slowly climbing up. Ruby slowly climbing up. Up. 74%. 74%. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Just got to check and make sure that we got all of our requests here. Stand by. All right. All right. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. There we are. Beautiful. All right. There we go. Oh, we got quite a few requests here. Yesh. All right. Well, let's take a look at TRNR first, and then after that, we'll get to requests. TRNR. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. 1 second. 1 second. All right. So, TRNR looks like it's trying to curl, but needs to still break that descending wedge right there. TRNR trying to curl, but still needs to break that descending wedge. TRNR trying to curl, needs to break the descending wedge for it to be so much maxi to mya. There we go. There we go. All right, let's take a look at AGAE. AGAE, let's take a look at that one right there. AGAE just above the VWAP right now. AGAE, let's see over here. Bot right there. Needs to break above this descending wedge right over here for it to be so much maxi to mya. AGAE needs to break the descending wedge. Needs to break above the descending wedge to become somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. What's going on with Ruby? Ruby! Let's see. Oh my. 84%, 85%, 85% now. Ruby climbing up some more. Up 85%. RUBI climbing up some more. Up 85%. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Climbing, baby. It's climbing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. RUBI climbing up 85%. Keep an eye on it, DBL Moms. Make sure it's still climbing its way on up right now. Make sure it's still climbing up. Make sure it's still doing this thing right there. If it climbs up anymore, let me know. TRNR, TRNR. There's Stewie still trying to hold his way. Oh, wait. Oh, there goes his legs. My bad. Kid. Poor Stewie. I took his leg off. I'm sorry, buddy. All right. There we go. So, TRNR looks like it's trying to curl still. Looks like it's curling off the descending wedge right there a little bit. Curling off the descending wedge a little bit. TRNR. TRNR. Curling off the descending wedge. Curling off that descending wedge right there. Boom, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Curling off the descending wedge. All right. There we go. AGAE. AGAE. AGAE also looks like it's trying to curl off the descending wedge right here. There we go. See, take a look at that right there. Bop right there. Take a look at that. AGAE trying to curl off the descending wedge. Actually, curling off the descending wedge right there. AGAE curling off the descending wedge. Bop right there. There we go. Let's see how BOXL is doing. BOXL. Ooh, not looking too schmexy. Not a lot of volume. Needs to break the downtrend right here. BOXL needs to break the downtrend and needs volume. BOXL needs volume to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. There we go, BOXL. That's what they got going on right there. That's what they got going on right there. Let's take a look at ETSY. ETSY. What's that? Don't know. It has a conference call in progress with Q4 earnings being released today before the market open. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Needs to break this pennant right here for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. ETSY needs to break the pennant. ETSY needs to break the pennant and stay above the VWAPA. There we go. Has some Q4 earnings that were released today before market open, so we'll see what goes on there. But ETSY needs to break that pennant and needs to stay above the VWAP. BOXL. Oh, look at this. Curling off the downtrend right there. There we go. BOXL curling off the downtrend. It looks like it's about ready to test that VWAP. BOXL curling off the downtrend. Looks ready to test the VWAPA. The VWAPA. There we go. BOXL. Bop right there. All right. Ruby's doing something. RUBI. Ruby. What's it doing? Has a bit of a double topper. But went to 87%. Okay, cool. $4.13. That is where the double top is right there. Needs to break that double top. RUBI. RUBI went up to 87%. Needs to break the double top. All right, needs to break that double top for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look. What? What are you talking about? HE. Oh, AGAE. English. Speak it. English. English. English double bombs. All right. AGAE. AGAE. Curling and climbing up right now. AGAE shot up off the descending wedge. Up 47% right there. There we go. AGAE shot up like a rocket right there. Looking schmexy right now. Shot up like a Dickens off that descending wedge, forming a bit of a not a double top. It's forming a top tail. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails. We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to break through that 44-cent mark. Has to break through that. Has to break through that, ladies and gentlemen. It has to break through it. We shall see what happens there. We shall see what happens. YIBO, YIBO. Let's take a look over there. YIBO is currently a pennant below the VWAPA. Needs to break the double toppa and break the VWAPA right there. So YIBO has unconfirmed H1 earnings due in 12 days from now on March 3rd before the market opens. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. YIBO, YIBO. Hold on 1 second. There we go. YIBO needs to break the pennant, the double top, and the VWAP. There we go, right there. Needs to break those for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. All right, AGAE, AGAE. Still needs to break that double top right there. Still needs to break that double top. Needs time to break that double top and remain friends with the trend. AGAE needs to break the double top and remain friends with the trend. There we go. There we go. Looks like it broke that double top, though, and is climbing. There we go. AGAE broke the double top. AGAE broke the double. Oh, excuse me. AGAE broke the double top. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. It looks like it's forming a bottom tail, so that's good. That's good. That's good. I like a bottom tail. We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails. JZXN has JZXN going right there. Let's take a look over here. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500. 500. All right. Has to break above this descending wedge, as well as the VWAP. Has some unconfirmed H1 earnings due in 12 days on March 3rd before the market open. So we got that going on right there. JZXN needs to break above the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya, because it's kind of falling down there. So we got that going on right there. AGAE still climbing up 49% now, 52% now, climbing itself right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. AGAE still climbing. Broke that double top. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at Ruby. Ruby. All right. Looks like Ruby pulled back a little bit off that descending wedge, off that double top right there. Formed a bit of a descending wedge. Needs to break above the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. RUBI needs to break above the descending wedge and the double top. Boom, right there. There we go. That's what it needs. All right. Let's see what else we got. YIBO needs to break above that pennant still. YIBO still needs to break the pennant, and of course the double top and the VWAP and all that good stuff right there. All right, TRNR. Let's see how that's doing. All right, still needs to break above the descending wedge right there. We'll see what happens. Poor Stewie looks like he's about to fall off the cliff right there. No, Stewie! Get your grappling hook, buddy. Your grappling hook. All right, TRNR still needs to break the VWAP and break above the descending wedge. Noah needs to break that descending wedge still. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at BOXL. BOXL broke above the VWAP. Broke above the VWAP off that downtrend right there. Excellent. BOXL Broke the VWAP. Boom, baby. There we go. Broke that VWAP right there. Broke that VWAP. Let's take a look at JZXN. JZXN. Let's take a look over here. Has some indecisive wicks right here. And man, has to still break above that descending wedge right there. JZXN needs volume to break above that descending wedge still. JZXN. Hold on, standby. All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Had a sneeze coming along. All right. JZXN. Ever get that like that pre-sneeze face? We're like, it makes you look like one of those pugs that just licked a lemon. Like, you're just like, it's about there. You're almost there. You feel it. You can feel it coming in the air tonight. And then you sneeze. Oh, God. Like, ever sneeze hard, though? Like, ever get that sneeze? I don't know. I think guys could... I think guys could understand, like, we can relate to this more. Ever sneeze so hard you actually hurt yourself a little bit? It's like, yeah! It's like, ow! Jeez! Oh my God. GCXN needs to break. Needs volume to break the descending wedge. That's called a man sneeze right there. That's called a man sneeze. When you sneeze so hard, you're like, ow. Afterwards, that's a man sneeze right there. Ladies, you sneeze and it's like a suppressed pistol. When we sneeze, it's like a freaking bazooka. Apparently, when dads sneeze, it's way worse. Yeah, you guys go, pew! When we go, it's like a shotgun. Boom! Apparently, from what I hear, when dads sneeze, it's like a friggin' bazooka. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Hey, take pride in that, though. Take pride in that. Ow. All right. Hold on. I need some water. After that, because that took my heart and my soul in that sneeze. You didn't want to hear none of that. Ooh. Okay, there we go. There you go. That's some water right there. AGAE. All right. Looks like AGAE fell below the VWAP. Yes, sir. Now it needs to break through it a little bit. AGAE looks like it fell below the VWAP. Or not the VWAP, excuse me. Fell below that double top. Needs to break that double top in the descending wedge right there. AGAE needs to break the break above the descending wedge and the double top. There we go. Needs to break those two. Ruby, let's see how Ruby's doing. RUBI real quick. RUBI trying to curl off the descending wedge. RUBI trying to curl off the descending wedge. Boom, right there. There we go. Schmexiness. Curling a little bit off that descending wedge slightly. Ruby curling slightly off the descending wedge. There we go. Actually, let me just put the... Looks like it tried to curl a little bit, but still needs to break it. All right. AGAE. All right, still needs to break that descending wedge. HEAE. Still needs to break the descending wedge. Boom, right there. JZXN. JZXN. Meh, JZXN still has a ways to go. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So, as of now, all right, JZXN currently, we'll see what goes on there. For the meantime, in the meantime, let's take a look and see what we got going on over here. Let's see what we got going on right here. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at some of the requests here. We got SGN. SGN's a request. SGN, let's see. SGN on a bit of a downtrend, not looking too schmexy there. All right. Got a bit of a downtrend going on there. Needs volume to break above the VWAP and the downtrend right there. So SGN needs volume to break above the downtrend and the VWAP. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Needs some volume, down 12%. Not looking too schmexy. Consistency as for TTD. TTD, let's take a look at TTD. All right, very choppy right now. Very choppy as of this moment right now. Over here, let's take a look. All right, TTD, very choppy right here. Showing some chop right there as well. Looks like it's below the VWAP as of now. Has some Q4 earnings, which are confirmed for in 6 days from now on Wednesday, February 25th, after the market close. But as of now, needs to break above the VWAP. And also needs a lot of volume for it to be so much mexy to mia. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 437 million and change, which is very heavy. I call it 438 million. Volume is 36,000. So as of now, that's what we got going on right there. Float is 437 million. Volume is 36,000. Very low volume. Needs volume for it to be so much mexy to me. Let's see if it has any news right there. And they pay for shares with the tax. I mean, they're paying for their there's not really much in terms of news here. I'm looking through the news right now. Not really much going on here. But TTD needs volume to break that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Hopefully, maybe. But right now, TTD, low volume, needs to break the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mia. There we go. Let's take a look at TRNR. TRNR, see how TRNR is doing. TRNR is doing It's along that VWAP. Needs to break the VWAP right there and needs to break that descending wedge still. So TRNR needs to break the VWAP and the descending wedge. There we go. Boom. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. What else we got? Somebody requested OSS. OSS. Let's see how it's doing. Right there. Let's see here. Not looking too schmexy. I mean, very low volume. Lots of low volume right here. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look. Lots of choppiness over here. All right. A lot of indecisive wicks. Chop over here. All right. And one indecisive wick right over here as well. Another one right here. Not looking too schmexy. Not looking too schmexy, but it is on a bit of an uptrend slightly. I personally don't trust it. Has a bit of a sort of ABCD kind of, but again, it's very, very choppy and very, 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 very low on volume. So, I mean, you can take a look at the float. Float is 22 mil. Volume is 249,000. So, not looking too schmexy. OSS needs more volume to continue a climb. All right, needs more volume though for it to be so much schmexy to meow. Let's take a look and see what else we got over there. GME. Somebody requested GME. Let's take a look at GME. GameStop. I like GameStop itself as a company, but the stock is not looking too schmexy right now. A lot of chop over here and a lot of chop over here. Looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant, if anything, right over here. Bop right there, and even then, kind of choppy in terms of that pennant right there. Needs to break the consolidation and needs to break above the VWAP. So GME needs volume to break the consolidation and the VWAPA for it to be so much schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, let's take a look at TRNR. See how TRNR is holding up. TRNR still needs to break that descending wedge in the VWAP right there. TRNR still needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Let me add them. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right. Let's see here. Somebody requested LIMN. All right. Double toppa over here, LIMN below the VWAP, showing double tops right here. Not looking too schmexy, too meow. Let's see what we got over here. All right, needs to break. It is moving up off the descending wedge over here, but it is very, very, very choppy and low volume. Needs to break that VWAP. So LIMN. Low volume needs to curling slightly off the descending wedge and the VWAPA. All right, descending wedge needs to break the VWAPA. There we go. Needs to do that for it to be so much schmexy to meow. There we go. All right, next up is somebody requested RZLV. All right, let's take a look and see what we got going on there for RZLV. Let's see how it's going. Very choppy. Lots of barcoding here. Take a look over here. A lot of barcoding over here, right in this little area right here. Bop right there. And it looks like it's moving downward right now. Not looking too schmexy. Right now for RZLV. RZLV moving down. Looks like trash, truthfully. RZLV bar coding and needs to volume to break the downtrend. RZLV looking like trash. Trash. There we go. Trash. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. All right. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Let's see here. Somebody requested PHIO. PHIO. Let's take a look at that. PHIO. Choppiness. Lot of choppiness. Lots and lots of chop. Chop, chop, chop. All right. Choppiness over here. All right. Showing some chop over here, over here, over there, over there, over there, and over there. Mark Roach, good morning. Can you chart CDIO, please? Oh, most definitely. Let me just finish up over here, and then I'll be right there. PHIO on a bit of a downtrend right now. Fell below the VWAP and is low on volume. PHIO. PHIO. Low volume. Needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, Mark Roach asked for CDIO. CDIO, let's take a look over here. All right, so CDIO has been on a bit of an uptrend, a choppy one, but it has been on an uptrend. So let's take a look over here. Cardio Diagnostics Holdings. Let's get some support and resistance lines for it right now. Let's see. All right, bop right here and bop right there. Okay, so right there, as of now, boom. All right, has to hold above the 247 mark and break above 262 right now. Is currently above the VWAP, very well above the VWAP, so it's good. Right there, let's take a look over here. Has a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D slightly, and then needs to break this pennant right over here. So has to hold above that VWAP right there and break the pennant and stay above the support line as well, which is a 247. So right now it's kind of fell below 247, has to break above 247 and then break above 262 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Otherwise it's needs to break above this pennant right here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, CDIO needs to break above the pennant and stay above the support line so that it may test the high of day. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. TOVX. Let's see how TOVX is doing right here. Actually, before we do, let me just check the floating volume on CDIO. Let me check that floating volume real quick before we continue. Float is 1.7 million, reasonable float. Volume is 3.7 million, so the volume is higher than the float. That's excellent. It's up 15% as of now. That's pretty good, but, needs more volume so that can go even higher. Has a Form 8 that's going on there, meaning potential insider buy, so we'll see what goes on there. So, yeah, that's what we got going on there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on right there. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. Yeah, also needs to break above 247, which is now a resistance line. Needs to hold above 242, which is the VWAP, and needs to break above the pennant right there and break above 262 for it to be so much maxi to mya. All right, now let's try TOVX. Let's take a look at TOVX. TOVX looks like it's currently trying to curl its way on up slightly. Slight curlage going on here, but it does have a bit of a double top right over here. Boom. Needs to break that double top right there for it to be so much maxi to mya. So TOVX up 30%. Broke the VWAPA. needs to break the double top and remain friends with the trend. Boom, right there. There we go. That's what it needs to do right there. That's what it needs to do right there. Let's take a look at TRNR. TRNR. Turner. Still on that still on that descending wedge right there. Still on that descending wedge. Still needs to break above the VWAPA. TRNR still needs to break the VWAP and that descending wedge. Bop right there. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. YIBO needs to break that consolidation. Consolidated right now. YIBO very consolidated. Needs to break the pennant. Very consolidated. Needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA. There we go. There we go. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's take a look at TOVX. TOVX. All right. TOVX. All right. TOVX needs to break that double top still. TOVX still needs to break the double top. Still needs to break the double top. There we go. Ruby. Let's take a look at the Ruby. There we go. Ruby looks like it's curling. Curling slightly right now. Curling off the descending wedge right here. Curling. Ruby looks like it's curling off that descending wedge. Yes, sir. Ruby. RUBI. Curling off the descending wedge. Bop right there. Boom. All right. Ruby doing its thing right there. JZXN. JZXN. Let's take a look. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1100. 1100, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. And it looks like JZXN is curling off the pennant right now. Curling off that pennant. There we go. JZXN curling off the pennant right there. Stand by 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. There we go. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeesh. 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 Give me 1 second. 1 second. Yeesh. All right. All right. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, let me see here. Let's see here. All right, let me just go through the requests real quick. Let me just go through the requests. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, there we go. There we go. Hold on. Yes, Ruby is moving. Yes. Give it a second. 1 second. Hold on. Ooh. RUBI. Oh my, RUBI moving up 89%. Went to 93. Never mind. Okay, we went RUBI up 93%. Curl, baby, curl. Yeesh. 1 second right here. There we go. All right. Get that all set. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. Yeesh. All right. Let's see here. 1 second. Yes. All right. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So, let's see what we got going on here. Ruby had a nice run up 93%. Let's take a look and see what else we got. Somebody requested TOVX. Let's see how TOVX is doing. Has a bit of a double top going on there, and looks like it fell below the VWAP right there. Fell below the VWAP off that double top right there. TOVX fell, and hold on, there we go. Fell and needs to break the descending wedge and the double top. TOVX, We'll see what goes on there. Can it break that descending wedge, and can it break that double top? We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. LMNX. Not looking too schmexy, obviously. Not looking too schmexy. Lot of choppiness here. Lots of choppiness here, and of course here. Oh, excuse me. I meant to say here. There we go. So, LMNX, low volume. LMNX needs more volume to become so much schmexy to me, and not looking too schmexy there. All right, AGAE. Oh my. Hold on 1 second. There we go. AGAE still needs to break that descending wedge and needs to break that VWAP. AGAE still needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP. There we go. Boom, right there. Let's see what else we got. All right. MLEC. Somebody requested MLEC. Let's see how MLEC is doing. Bit pricey. Also, not too much volume going on here. Take a look at these choppiness over here, choppiness and indecisive wicks here, showing some very low volume as of now. So MLEC needs volume to continue the curl. MLEC needs volume to stay above the VWAP as well. So MLEC needs volume to move up and stay above the VWAP. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. Let's see here. All right. Somebody requested. Actually, hold on. What's going on with Ruby? Hold on. Ruby. A little bit concerned about Ruby. Man. Having another descending wedge, are we? Yes, quite. Yes, quite. We are 5 minutes away from the power hour. The power, not the, excuse me, not the bell. The bell, excuse me, not the power hour. I'm sorry. I'm so used to the power hour. Wrong show. Wrong show.
Wrong show.
Wrong show. Hold on. Hey. Hey. All right. RUBI. RUBI has a bit of a double top right over meow. Double top right over meow right there. All right, needs to break that descending wedge right there. Needs to, RUBI needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. All right, and the double top, and the double top. There we go. There we go. Ish. Needs to break that double top right there. Not overbought or oversold in the R size of yet. So we'll see what happens there. Ruby did have some movement though. Yes, 3 minutes to the bell. The bell.
Magical.
Can it be?
I hope so.
Oh.
I want it to be magical.
Oh yes, I hope it is magical. Ruby, can it continue to curl and become even more magical?
Descending wedge will reversal.
Maybe. RUBI. Bullish, though. It was bullish. It had a nice run up, 93%. Had a nice little run there. So we'll see what goes on. All right, we got 3 minutes till the bell. The bell.
Deafens me.
It deafens me. Ah. Looks like it's testing that double top, though. It's trying to test that double top a little bit. RUBI trying to test that double top right there.
Come on, Ruby. Magical.
RUBI trying to test the double top.
Descending wedge doubles Ruby.
Breakout of descending wedge imminent. Yeesh. All right. Looks like it's testing that descending, that double top right there. Broke through it. Yes, sir. Hit 420 for the memes. All right. Yes, sir. Curl, baby. Curl it. Parabalik. Yes, sir. Ooh, 88%. Ruby curling, testing that descending wedge.
Let's go.
Ruby curling.
Come on, don't fake out.
Testing
Make out, don't fake
the
out.
descending
Make out,
wedge. Can it break? Ooh. Let's see what goes on. Stand by. We have 1 minute till the bell. The bell. Ah, yeah. Let's get it. Come on now. Come on. It's testing it, man. It's just testing that.
Man, that was like a tease right there.
It was a bit of a tease there. Can it curl? Come on now. It's like trying to. It's like trying to curl, and it's testing the double top again. It's testing that double top again, so can it break it? Oh, yeah.
20 seconds to the
Oh,
bell.
yeah. 20 seconds to the bell. The bell. Yes, sir. The bell. Come on now. Break through the bell. Yes, sir. The bell. There goes the bell. It looks like it's trying to break right through that descending wedge. Come on now. Look at that. It's trying to. It's fighting.
Show some love.
Come on now. It's fighting right there. It's fighting. Come on now.
Let's go, Wub.
Come on.
Let's go, Wub.
Come on.
Come on, show some love.
Show some love to Papi Chulo.
Come on, Papi.
It made the ringy dingy. It made the wee woo. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
Don't leave that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on, hold it.
It shot it there. It shot up for a sec.
Hold it.
Broke the descending wedge, though.
Now.
Ruby broke the descending wedge.
Ruby.
Woo! Woo! Ruby
It was weak.
broke the descending wedge. Broke the descending wedge. Come on now. Come on, curl back up, baby. Come on. Come on now. Hey, 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 hey. Come on now. Needs to break above that. It was breaking above that, though. Show some love to me. Prove your love to me. Prove your love to Papi Chulo. Chulo. Prove your love to Papi Chulo. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Ruby, it's still in that descending wedge right there. Still needs to break it. They still need to break through that right there. Still needs to break through it all. Yes. Needs to break through it. Needs to break through it right there. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Still has a ways to go with that. Come on now. And we'll see what happens. We shall see. We shall see. All right. All right. All right. All right. Has to break that $4. Has to break that $4. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. All right. And oh, come on, Ruby. Ruby. Ruby.
Bottom tail red. We need bottom tail green.
We need a bottom tail green.
Come on, green.
Come on, we need a bottom tail green.
Come on, green.
Bottom tail.
It's
Come
green.
on now.
Come on, green.
Come on now. Yes,
Come
sir.
on, green.
All right, come on now. Needs to break the pennant. Come on now. Come on now. Break that pennant right there. Break above the pennant right there. Ruby needs to break the pennant. Needs to break above the pennant. There we go. Needs to break above that pennant right there. Come on now. Needs to break that pennant right there. Needs to break above the pennant. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. All right, all right, all right. All right. All right, let's see what else we got over here. In the meantime, what else we got? CISS, CISS. Let's take a look and see. CISS curling conference call scheduled for today at 10 a.m. Q4 earnings were released today before the market opened. CISS broke above the VWAP, broke above that VWAP, and shot up like a rocket right there with a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails, but CISS broke the VWAP and is on the uptrend. On the uptrend right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. TOVX. 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 Man. Stand by. 1 second. TOVX. TOVX needs to break the downtrend. Needs to break the descending wedge, not a downtrend. Needs to break that descending wedge in the VWAP still. TOVX. TOVX needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP. There we go. There we go. TOVX still needs to do that right there. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see what's going on. All right, give me a second right here. Give me a second right here. Ruby looks like it's trying to curl. Oh my, hold on. Looks like it's trying to curl a little bit. We'll see what happens, though. We shall see what happens. RUBI. RUBI needs to break above the pennant. For it to be so much Mexi to me. All right, all right, all right. AGAE, AGAE. Curling off the descending wedge. AGAE. All right, curling off that descending wedge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on now. AGAE knee curling off the descending wedge and broke the VWAPA. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. AGAE, AGAE, BOXL. Let's take a look at BOXL. BOXL on the uptrend, curling and broke the VWAPA. BOXL broke the VWAP. There we go. BOXL broke the VWAPA. All right. On the uptrend, there we go, right there with BOXL. CISS, CISS. All right. Also on the uptrend there, CISS. On the uptrend, let's see what else we got there. Yes, sir. All right. TRNR. What's this about TRNR now? Up, has news. Up, TRNR. Looks like our boy Stewie's going to be climbing again. Looks like he's climbing. Get your mountain climbing equipment there, Stewie. All right? Because Interactive shares are trading higher after the company announced it acquired Ergata. TRNR acquisition news right there. TRNR curling off the descending wedge, broke above the VWAPA. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1600. 1600, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on. All right. All right. All right. All right. APUS. APUS. Let's see how APUS is holding up there. APUS price spike on low volume. Price spike on low volume right there. APUS price spike on low volume. Price spike on low volume. Right there. For it to be so much maxi tunya. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. TRNR. How's it going there? Still on the uptrend right there. TRNR. It's up 61% now. TRNR. Up 61%. There we go. TRNR up 61%. 63% now. Climbing. All right. Come on now. 66%. There we go. Curling. Curling on up right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go again. All right. So. All right. Yeesh. What's going on? I already said that. Yeesh. Yeah, 66. 66%. TRNR 66%. Just had to check on the little thingies there. TRNR up 66%. 66% right there. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, yeah. So, yeah, of course. Still got the news, of course. Yeah, of course. What would it lose the news? Is it like I don't think it loses news. I don't think it doesn't lose news. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all right, all right. So, currently MLEC also on the uptrend right now. Also on an uptrend on some low volume right there. MLEC on the uptrend on low volume. MLEC on the uptrend off low volume. We'll see what goes on there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what goes on. All right. But that's pretty much it for me, ladies and gentlemen. So, Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We were just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We were just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our YouTube channel at Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming, lots of stock reviews, lots of stock analysis, all sorts of good stuff there. All right. We do all sorts of cool stuff. We do lots of shorts. We do lots of awesome stuff there. All right. So be sure to check us out there at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. Be sure to check us out on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming as well as stock reviews and stock analysis there too. You can find us on our Twitch at Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming. All right. You can find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money, at Coaching Money. There we go. And of course, you can find us on our TikTok, Tiki-Taki, aka the Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DVLNICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. So we got that going on right there. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, you could find us there on all those social medias. All right. And also be sure to stay tuned for Power Plays, ladies and gentlemen. Power Plays, which is going to be happening at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he basically traverses the stock market prior to Power Hour. And basically, he gives his honest reviews on the stocks. He lets them simmer on high heat, lets them simmer, and then, get some dubs in the fortnight, and he goes back to the stocks, gives his review, goes back to Fortnite, does his thing there. It's basically a mix of power, the Power and Power Hour, and plays, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So that's pretty much it for us. Be sure to check that out. Much love. Take care of yourselves. And by the way, be sure to check out that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scans for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. And when you sign up, you get access to our amazing Coach Nick Money services. You get access to our war room, which basically is the place where all of our wonderful people go to congregate and basically share ideas, give each other constructive criticism, analysis, and all sorts of other things like that. It's a very educational, wonderful space to be in, where you can learn and grow. It's amazing. It's awesome. All right. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you get access to our amazing, and I mean amazing, market mover scanners, one of which is over here on the left-hand side. It basically gives you the ticker, price, volume, float, as well as the time it was scanned, whether the stock is moving up or down, the price change, meaning the percentage change right there, and of course, hyperlinks to the stock for more information. So you can click on it, gain access to their wonderful and amazing charts, as well as news and other things like that. It shows all sorts of amazing stuff right there. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you gain access to our newsroom, which basically gives you all sorts of amazing news pulled from every part of the market, right? And basically what it does is it gives you a tiny synopsis of what's going on with the news, as well as a hyperlink to the full article, and of course a hyperlink for the ticker that's affiliated with the news within said article, so you could basically learn more information there. All that information at the touch of a button. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen, amazing. And also you get access to our stock ticker tape, which gives you all sorts of stocks that are currently moving and moving very nicely, and basically says, hey, this stock's moving quite a bit. It's active. It's getting active. You know what I mean? And we're keeping an eye on it. That's what it basically is. All right, it's basically a thing that basically says, "Hey, we're keeping an eye on the stock over here," and much, much more, ladies and gentlemen. And if you act now and get the Wealth Builders package, you gain access to all of our amazing Wealth Builders stuff. You get access to everything from the real-time alerts and scanners package, plus exclusive Wealth Builders chat, which basically is another educational place for you to go. All right. You also get access to exclusive scanners that are, well, just as good, if not better, than the Market Mover scanner, ladies and gentlemen. And to top it off, you get access to exclusive Wealth Builders content, such as, for example, Wealth Builders exclusive picks, Wealth Builders exclusive access to Coach Nick Money and myself, a Wealth Builders exclusive chat, a Wealth Builders exclusive access to behind the scenes footage, Wealth Builders access to our wonderful, wonderful scripts, and also Wealth Builders access to our exclusive custom made. No. We already made the scanner. What's it called? The course. The courses. Yes, the courses. Yes, the names. The words escape my brain. All right. Basically, yeah. Basically, it's a wonderful 500 video course that shows how we trade and what works best for us, and it shows our chronicles over the years of how we basically, managed to get our trading down to a nice little science there. So it shows how we trade, what works best for us, and also is a very educational course. So yeah, you can be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check that out. And all right, that's pretty much it. Much love, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you later for Power Plays, ladies and gents. We will see you later for Power Plays, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to check that out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's pretty much it. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later on. I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she likes to get shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go and get into the stock market and find them ABCDs. After all, she did call some wonderful stocks like TOVX, ENVB, and RUBI. Ruby! All right? And that's pretty much it for me. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Her name is Deviant Moms!